if I'm a user, why do I want to use Solana ID? Okay, I'm out there, I'm whatever. Maybe I'm new to the chain. Maybe I'm buying some meme coins. Maybe I'm an OG and I'm doing a lot more other, more sophisticated stuff.
Yeah.
And I like being anonymous.
Yeah.
What's the upside in coming and setting up my Solana ID with you?
Quick answer, you're VIP on Solana. You become a more important account for the apps, and they will give you value in exchange for your ID. You can squeeze out more value from your wallet. So if you're already using certain apps and we are partnered with them, you have a better user experience with them with the Solana ID than without. You might get more points in their point system. You might be eligible for some airdrops that they do in future because of the ID you hold and the quality of it. You might be able to access early features that other people are not able to access. So there's a wide array of possible perks you can get, but those are exclusive for ID holders that either come with certain tiers and certain traits already, right? Because our ID is not, you're not setting it up once and then that's equal for everyone. No, it's an identity, it's individual, right? So people have different tiers, they have different scores, they have different credentials, right? But if you're eligible for a certain perk and a certain kind of thing that you can get on chain, then only with Solana ID. So I think the easiest way to explain it is this kind of VIP status on chain, which is interesting for people that are new to the chain, because if you're new to Solana, at least you can now bring your data from Web 2 and you arrive as someone, right? Instead of a fresh wallet with no data at all, because you have definitely disadvantage if you arrive to Solana as a fresh wallet, no one knows you. Solana ID couldn't give you a good kind of on-chain score because it's empty, but you can bring your off-chain credentials. It might help you to get, a higher tier in our system and get you some perks on chain already. If you're already a Solana OG, like a user that's been on the chain for a long time, you connect a few of your wallets, you'll get a very good score and you can get a lot of perks on chain already with the apps that you're already using.
Nice. And I can choose for my ID to be public or not with you? Or is it always private with you?
So basically, no one ever has your Web 2 data, right? So that's one thing. It's a self-sovereign system. Right now, we're only leveraging the ZK proof part of things. So we literally just have a code, like a little identifier, right? But we don't have any private data. If we don't have private data, there doesn't need to be a privacy setting, really. But we're rolling out other features as well that are based on attestation, verifiable credentials. These technologies will give a bit more of depth to your data. So it's not just, are you above or below? It can actually be a more accurate data point from your Web 2 journey. But these will also be in a decentralized data network, not with us. And you also have the option to toggle privacy settings on and off. So you can see your history of people that tapped into your ID information. You can see, Jupiter wanted to query some data from me, or Camino queried some data. So you see all these Solana applications that used your ID to query data, and you can say, hey, this one, I don't really want them to see my data. You toggle it off. And there's no way for us to toggle it on again because the data is with you, essentially. So.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.
Our kind of North Star is always optionality when it comes to data. We want you to have the option to be very, very transparent with it and then get the biggest rewards, make the most money on your data, get the most perks and so on. You're highly transparent as well. But you should have the option to decide, okay, I want to opt out and I want to keep my data for myself and I don't want this person to access it. You don't have optionality at all in the Web 2 world when it comes to your data.
Right. And contrast this with another digital ID service. I interviewed Stanley Kulichev of Aave back in 21, and he went on to create this Lens ID system that some social platforms are using. But I think that's really different. I think that's an NFT that you have in your wallet, which is then therefore public. And it's, is an interesting take on it, but there was no optionality in there that I understand.
Yeah. And also it's more like a social network really than an identity system. If you really compare it strictly with Lens protocol. So you build profiles on chain, right, with Lens. But in our case, you really have the optionality and the sovereignty of your data. You can on-ramp off-chain data using the ZK proofs. It's a different setup. And then the whole pitch we built on top of the ID system, which is the targeted ad network, is also inherently different from a business model than what Lens is doing, or actually many other identity protocols is doing. Because here's the thing. I think many ID builders failed at coming up with a solution that people care about. Identity is great if you build a use case on top that people care about. But identity is useless if it's sovereign and you own the data and all those great pitches that sound so revolutionary. But if it doesn't do any job for me,
right?
Like what job does it do?
It doesn't give me value immediately.
Right.
I'm not going to do it.
I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm key speaking. Like I won't use it, even if it's visionary. You have like a niche of people that are like, oh, interesting. I'm a privacy, kind of maxi. I want to use it. But you need to solve a problem. Like if I will imagine you want to get in the wait list of an application, and the wait list is 10,000 seats long, right? And you want to be the next one in the line. And there's a button that says log in with Solana ID, verify as a human, verify as a core contributor to other ecosystems. Just show me that you're valuable, right? To my ecosystem. If you can prove that to me, I let you join tomorrow. Now I'll click that button. I even set up my Solana ID and I'll even pay $10 for it, right? To set it up. And then I get that perk. I get that job done. Early access to this application. And you can copy paste this example to completely different examples. I want to get that airdrop. I want to get that whitelist spot for this investment DAO. There's so many things I want in crypto and I can't get them because I'm too late or I'm not eligible for it or whatever. With Solana, you can, skip the lane.
You just said something that just cut through. You said, show me that you're valuable. And if you think about it, every human pretty much all day long is trying to show they're valuable, right? By what they wear, by their accessories, by what they post on social, because the more value you can show, the more opportunities you get. And it's not a bad thing. When you go on a date, you clean yourself up and, you try to say the right things. When you want to go to a restaurant, you want the best table. When I'm pitching a company, I want them to know I'm London Real and this is our history and this is what we do and this is who I am.
Yep.
So it's like we're always trying to show how valuable we are in certain situations so we can get the most out of every situation.
It's so intangible, these things. There's no data. We're friends of data. If you can now verifiably prove that you were very valuable, it's not just like your pitch, it's not what you say, it's not what you make me feel. Those are all intangible things. I want the data. I want to click a button and see, oh, wow, this guy has a big history on chain. He has these credentials in his wallet and so on. It just takes one wallet for me to verify these things and they're verifiably true because of the tech we're using and you get the job done. Right?
Yeah, in a world where there isn't much communication. Like in a Web3 world, I can't even associate a wallet with my social media scores. Well, except with you, I can. But right now, there's no way, even if I was trying to provide intangible value, I would be judged by my wallet and what my history was. So now there's an opportunity. And again, you said VIP. This is interesting. How many of us have had an experience where you walk up to the front door and there's a line somewhere, a restaurant or a club, and the owner or the bouncer comes out and lets you in first? Like everybody wants that feeling. Right? I got a restaurant I go to in Blue Water and I go there all the time. And when I go there, everybody comes there, shakes my hand. They give me the best table. The other day I sat at a 6-person table and had dinner myself.
Yeah.
And
you had your steak.
Yeah. And they know I'm a good customer. Yeah. They know I spend well. And so everyone wins because I feel really good. I get really good treatment. And then the business wins because they get a regular high value customer.
Yeah. And in the real world, that works well. They see your face, they know who you are.
Right.
But in crypto, you log in with your wallet and they don't know who you are and what you are and what you did in the past. Right now, at least, there's no system really. We're still early in crypto, even if people say different. We're still early in the tech part of it, right? We're still at the frontier of technology here.
Yeah.
So there's ways for us to innovate and there's ways for us to build infrastructure systems like Solana ID that will be leveraged by a lot of apps throughout the internet in future. So sometimes when people ask me, like, where does this lead to? Where do you go? Just imagine you invested very early on in Google AdSense, what they do now. Because they do something similar, if you think about it. They help projects in the internet, B2B customers, to target the right people based on the data they collect, right? We're just building that system with a bit more honesty and fairer because we loop the user in. But we're building a similar system where we help apps on Solana to identify, the creme de la creme of the users and to track them to their application. And you can build a big business on top of that.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside I view is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.